This is the sign that the market is open in Frontier Africa for the second trading day of the week. But first, a quick summary of how we finished off on Monday. The Nigerian market continued the second week in a negative 13 basis points. Investors booked 10% of the shares of Presco PLC, one of the biggest agro-allied company listed on the Nigerian exchange. Then you've got a BRVM down by 43 basis points. The Egyptian market got about 50 basis points in the green territory. The Nairobi down by 2.6. And the South African market, the GSE climbed by 1.17%. Quite a very big day in South Africa. Well, let's get a few more news out there for you, starting as always where sun rises in the east. Airtel Africa says it's recalling bonds worth about $500 million to ease the debt, the burden that the company has to deleverage its books. That's what the big Pan-African telco listed on the London and Lagos stock exchanges is looking to do. The Kenya debt repayments to China is doubling 135.15% to about 73.48 billion shillings, while Kenya is looking at a new five-year tourism strategy to reposition Kenya as the leading hub for tourism in East Africa and across the entire Africa as a whole. An equity group, which of course contained the Equity Bank listed on the Nairobi Bourse, says it's pumping 400 million shillings to set up an insurance unit as the authorities level the playing field for banks to also set up insurance business if they so desire. And Tanzania says the Deposit Insurance Board has been asked to pay 15.9 or 145, nearly 146 billion shillings to the Coast Textile Limited. There's been this tussle between the Deposit Insurance Board and everyone else as to how to get this done. Now it's been clear that this 145.9 billion shillings Tanzanian shillings should be paid to the textile companies. We hope this resolve those issues between all the parties. Let's check in with West Africa, where Nigeria's central bank is, this afternoon, decide on interest rate for the third time this year. Political spending is getting high in Nigeria. On Monday, Nigeria's GDP economic growth came in at 3.11%, led in the main by non-oil sector, 93.3%. Oil sector contributed about 6% of the GDP. Manufacturing, a share of the GDP, about 15%. And all of those numbers coming to this, the sixth consecutive session of straight GDP growth on a year-on-year basis for the Africa's largest economy. In the meantime, top economies are warning that there will be higher inflation and food insecurity around the world, part of the soundbite from Davos 2022 taking place in Switzerland, the World Economic Forum for this year, the first in-person meeting in almost 3 years. And Dangote Industries Funding PLC says it's holding an investor roadshow virtually on Thursday, the 26th of May, for the bond, multi-billion naira bond that the company is proposing to support the Dangote refinery being constructed in the backwaters of Lagos. And the Bank of Ghana, yesterday's central bank, as it were, raised interest rate by 200 basis points to 19%, looking to tame inflation and engineer more growth in one of the strongest economies, not just in West Africa, but across the Frontier Africa. And the total number of transactions across the mobile money platforms in Ghana declined 3% in the month of April to about 87.7 billion local currency. That's the Ghanaian cedi. Okay, let's get to Southern Africa and see if we have any new solutions to South Africa's power problem. And that's where NASA says it's ramping up licensing of solar power operators to ease the strain on the grid that Eskom currently faces in terms of load shedding. Producer inflation for Africa's most advanced economy to remain in the double digits. That's in the news over the last couple of days, where the civil servants asking for a wage hike of about 10%, which could be about 146 billion rand, is what the Ramaphosa's administration that says no, that is not going to happen. But the administration says it will continue to give support to the workers in form of stipends, as it were, but no wage increase for the civil servants, not at least for now. The administration is heavily burdened and cannot afford 146 billion rand in wage hike. And Herman Shilongo is now on the board of Namibia Deposit Guarantee Fund. We say congratulations and join the board. Let's see how things move forward, stronger and more efficient with that Deposit Guarantee Authority. Let's talk to the North African market. And as always, Egypt is the first destination. President Al-Sisi signed off on Egypt's 6 billion credits for the full year 2021-2022 in the budget, which is a fresh supplement to the fiscal budget being considered. The private sector in Egypt is issuing between $120 and $200 million in green bonds, and that is part of the climate change, climate sustainability, adaptability, and all of that. Clean energy. Egypt is the host of COP27 later this year in October and is getting ready to host the world, the first time on the African continent. And Credit Agricole of Egypt reporting 29.8%, roughly 30% year-on-year jump in first quarter profits, January to March, while Morocco's AFMA Group says its turnover in the first quarter of the year grew 14% to about 74.4 million dirhams. That's the Moroccan currency. We hope you enjoyed the show. That's your trading day. Get it all started, everyone, and continue to follow us on all our social media platforms, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook. Then, of course, you can watch this show again if you subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube. It's free at Frontier Africa Reports. And, of course, you can see our website and read a whole lot more about our shows, www.frontierafricareports.com. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.